How many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
Whoa. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, everyone. It is Thursday. What a day. This week, this election season, this month, this year, good golly, this decade. This is the decade of SHTF, right? March of 2020, they declared it when they said, let's lock everyone down for COVID. But the fear of that started way back in January, at the beginning of 2020. Surprise. It didn't catch us off guard. Of course, we knew shit was coming. But imagine not being prepared at all. No understanding, no recollection of history, no understanding of future events. Wow. But here we are, folks. We're in the middle of it. It is 1984 versus 1776. Oh, would you look at that? That's a good one. Someone ought to do a video with that title. Anyways, folks, what about the 1984 controlling speech? Get your questions down below because I'm going to do my 30-minute monologue, and then it'll be your turn. Your questions will be brought right up here on the screen if you are part of the preparedmind.club, CLUB, or subscribestar.com with the Prepared Mind. Then you can do questions live Monday through Friday right here, right now. Now, 1984, you bet the Kamala Harris Department of Justice. Here's the deal. It is not the Biden presidency anymore. He's fucking absent anyway. He's an absentee landlord. He's on the beach. He's in the basement. He's sniffing and molesting children. Whatever he's doing, he's not a president. He's just another fucking bot mouthpiece. Another charlatan, another carpet-bagging scum. So, in his stead, we have Kamala, who herself is a carpet-bagging scumbag. But her Department of Justice, because it's her government. Now, Brett Baier, who I do not like, who I do not respect, did a respectable, admirable job interviewing Camel Toes Harris. He's got a long way to go to make it up and get back in my good graces, but he did great the other night. Kamala Harris, he asked her, well, you're interested in Trump's health. What about Biden's? And she said, he's not in this race. Oh, okay. So Biden, questions about him, his administration, his policies, his whatever, if you want to call them policies. Oh, okay. Well, fine. Then you get all the credit for it. And he did a good job, folks. I'm sure you'll have some questions and comments about that. But the Kamala Harris Camel Toes Department of Justice has made an announcement today. It's going to monitor an Ohio County voting system. Why aren't they interested in Fulton County, Georgia, or Maricopa County, Arizona? Or Clark County, Nevada? They don't give a fuck about anywhere. But why do they like this one county in Ohio? Because the sheriff there, the county sheriff, made comments about immigration. Let me refresh your memory if you don't know what I'm talking about. He made what I consider to be a smart-ass joke that has truth sprinkled in it because the best jokes have fact and truth. What he said was, I need everyone to record, to write down, to take notes, and I am paraphrasing, of who has Kamala Harris signs in their yard so that if she wins, we can make sure we send immigrants to those houses. I found that fucking funny. So now the Department of Justice is going to monitor the voting there to see if this sheriff has interfered, intimidated, scared people. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Here's where I stand. The Federal Department of Justice has none, zero, zip, zilch, nada jurisdiction over any county sheriff, because he is acting within his county and he has free speech. He has the right to free speech. He didn't say he's going to arrest anybody. He didn't say he's going to violate anyone's rights. You telling me a sheriff can't make a fucking joke? You can't make a joke if you're a sheriff, coming from a joke of a government in Washington, D.C., where homosexuals can have anal sex in Senate chambers, record it and release it on the internet. But don't you dare make a joke, say anything about illegal aliens. They're fucking criminals, for fuck's sake. So the federal government has no jurisdiction within a county. He has not crossed county lines. He has not crossed state lines. And that's the only place where the government can pretend to have its long-arm statutes. He hasn't violated anyone's rights, but they're going to monitor it, folks. Right? Don't let the law interfere with your understanding that communist asshole loser queers from Washington, D.C., in the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the Attorney General's office, they'll be coming for us. And I'm going to continue to use the word queer because the LGBTQ stands for queer. I'm not bullying them. I'm calling them what they want to be called. Oh, folks, it's going to get nasty. It really is going to get nasty. Your comments below. Share this internet address. Share it. Get it out there. This is for YouTube, folks. Get that fucking internet address and share it. Also, thumbs up, of course. Be sure you're a subscriber. But share it. We've got to continue to share information as we get closer to this election. It is critical. 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 Now, this Kamala Harris interview with Brett Baer. There was chaos behind the scenes, folks. Brett actually went out and then he did an interview with Fox News so he could tell everyone what the fuck was going on there. He said 4 of Kamala's lame-ass handlers were desperately trying to cut the interview short. They're throwing the fucking towel. They're trying to get, stop talking, trying to get Kamala to quit talking. Brett says, I had to dismount there at the end, right? Quote, I had to dismount there at the end, right? Get off, just be done. They were losing it, folks. Kamala Harris was screeching, raising her voice, losing her shit, and yelling because Brett actually did a real interview and asked difficult questions. And she sounded like a buffoon, folks. Buffoon. In fact, I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. I can't stand that bitch. Don't think that I just mildly dislike her. Understand the most disgusting lack of respect. I can't stand her. She's terrible. She's awful. She's dangerous. She's evil. She's a traitor. She's a horrible human being. She has tried killing people, and who knows how many people she has successfully killed with her authority in her office. She has threatened to take away our First Amendment, Second Amendment rights, our Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights, literally, just send cops into your house. Too bad. Fuck you. The number one hashtag in America right now is hashtag train wreck Kamala. TrainWreckKamala. Hashtag train wreck Kamala. Number one on X, because this interview was so fucking bad. And you know what the mainstream media has decided to call her? How they've excused away this fail? She was testy. She was testy. That's the number 2 word that's trending, that she's testy. Oh, that's the left-wing media, right? Because they're trying to describe the evasiveness of her. Remember when they said Joe Biden is sharp as a tack? Now this week it's testy. Testy? I didn't think it was testy. Was she bitchy, folks? Right? People put like a picture of her grimacing face, right? And then Brett Baer going like, "Hey," right? And said, "This is the look men get when they listen to her." And I thought it was funny. So was she testy? Was she bitchy? Or was she off the rails horrible? And was she cunty? And I tell you what, folks, I cannot say enough bad words about these people. Now, look, if they were just regular people on the street, fine. You know, I drove by the one idiotic Kamala Harris, Tampon Timmy Walls supporters on the side of the road down here in Florida. I could care less. They're just idiots. They're not interfering with traffic. They're not impeding my progress. They didn't throw anything at my truck. They're just morons. Kamala Harris has real government authority, real power. And that's why I believe I need to attack her. Not a physical sense, in a, shall I say, a free speech sense. There is no room in my world for communism or socialism. There's no room, folks, in my country for that. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, the media, the mainstream media, has been complete lapdogs. Complete lapdogs to the Democrats, their globalist policies. And they're going to get in trouble for it. They're going to pay. They've already lost support and belief. The public is now trusting the media less than ever. And they're actually now being sued. Right? CBS News, 60 Minutes, has an FEC, Federal Election Commission complaint because of their 60 Minutes editing of Kamala Harris. Right? They have tried to make her sound coherent, intelligent, lucid, like she know what the fuck is going on. It's not just disingenuous. It is presenting a political candidate for high office in a light and in a manner that doesn't bespeak of her real nature. She is a moron, folks, a moron. So there are people, there's lawsuits against CBS, and now there's Federal Election Commission investigations and complaints. I'm waiting, folks. Bring it on. Election is less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks. When we have this weekend and we wake up, 2 weeks from that on Tuesday, right? That's where we're at. 2.5 weeks to go. The fucking countdown is on. Countdown is on. Oh, just unbelievable. And I did mention Tampon Timmy. I did. I mentioned him. He deserves very little respect. I was speaking with a jarhead the other day, and he said, "You know what? That piece of shit, and his stolen valor is horrifying. That he can get away with that. It's a federal crime to do what he's done. Unbelievable." So Tampon Timmy's making a fool of himself continuously. And his wife is out there now campaigning for him, trying to clear his name. Gwen is her name. So Gwenny the Ding, it wasn't one of the witches called Gwen. Gwen Walls, husband to No Balls Tim Walls, said that making tampons available in boys' restrooms at schools makes sense. Is this a moral question or an intelligence question? Is it a moral statement or a statement about her intelligence? To say that tampons in a boys' restroom makes sense. How? How does that make sense? Boys do not menstruate. Men do not menstruate. Oh, wait, what if a trans girl goes to the bathroom and she needs one? We'll put one in your purse like women have done for decades, eons. Right? What the fuck? How can it make sense? But here's what Gwen went on to say. We need to move on from the Tampon Tim nickname. Apparently, it's getting to him. Apparently, it's gotten to her. Too bad, because that's who he is. Right? He's a goat fucker. And because of that, fuck one little goat, you're always a goat fucker. This guy he's an embarrassment, stolen valor. He's a fucking liar, a gross exaggerator. He wants to compete with Joe Biden for the most lies per words coming out of his mouth. So as far as I'm concerned, Gwen, fuck you, bitch. Your husband, deserves more attention for what he has done to children, the people of the state, for encouraging racism, arson, murder. Oh, yeah. Remember, he's the governor of Minnesota, and that is the state. That's the state where St. George Floyd was killed and where the BLM riots began. I tell you, I'm fucking telling you. So, let's continue, shall we? Let's continue. What do we have next, right? What do we have next? Let's just stick with fruitcakes. I mean, I tried sharing out there as much as I could the video. There's a video out there of someone who looks just like Tampon Timmy, wearing a leather skirt or shorts and a leather bra halter top, doing drag queen dancing. Looks just like Tampon Timmy. He's a fruitcake, folks. And if that's him, that's the evidence. Anyways, more of these fruitcakes are out there. Did you know that a trans men's soccer team decided it was going to play against a real men's team in soccer? Okay, we've looked at all of these loser male athletes who then go, I'm a girl, and they twist their little hair into a thing and put some makeup on. I'm a girl, I'm going to play girl sports. And they go out there and they just dominate in women's sports. There's a reason they're there. Because they're fucking pussies. They're wimps. They're sissies. They're bullies, bullying girls. Well, guess what? These tranny fruitcakes, and fruitcakes they are, lost. They were soundly defeated. No, they were fucking routed. Destroyed 19-0. It wasn't men's team versus women's team where you would expect to hear a score of 19-0. It was biological men out there wanting to be women. Okay. The only reason they want to compete against women, folks, is because they are lame ass jerks and they're lousy athletes. And the evidence has now been provided, right? They lost to real biological men, these ridiculous fruitcakes. And so I will call them loser trannies. I will. Hey, questions down below. We have a lot to discuss, folks. A lot. Now, the world is looking to Trump for leadership. World leaders, political leaders, elected leaders are contacting Trump by phone. They are flying to meet with him, arranging, conferences, if you will, not to discuss anything, I would say 100% solid, because he's not the president, at least not yet. But world leaders are contacting Trump. And now mega corporate leaders are contacting the MAGA America First president. And can you name a bigger, I mean, there's a couple maybe, but a bigger CEO than Apple's CEO? That's right, folks. Apple CEO Tim Cook gave Trump a call on the old telephone. And he says, I need help. The European Union has fined me $18 billion. $18 billion. Apple has been fined $18 billion. And Trump told him, here's the quote, Tim, I've got to get elected first. I can't help you out with Europe. It's funny, is he could. I don't know how he could do it. He could just say, hey, would you, leader X or leader Y or leader Z, knock this shit off? Maybe that would be interfering. Maybe that would be an abuse of power from an unelected politician, right? That I'm sure. So he just says, hey, elected first. But they're coming because they know he will fix problems, right? These European regulations are absolutely off the hook, aggressive and abusive, folks. My advice to Tim Cook and Apple would be raise your prices to accommodate this fucking fine, and then tell the people through your marketing the price of this phone has gone up 20% because your government decided to fine me. I'm sorry. The other one is just pull out of the market. Take your Apple phones out of the market. If their job, they think, is the government, is to not only tax you and slap tariffs and taxes on the phones, they're just looking at Apple as a paycheck. Get the fuck out of the country, no more paycheck. Hurt them in the fucking pocket. When are people going to learn that that's how you do it? Look, it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. When it's one side or the other, and folks, the U.S. government is incredibly abusive. Why be in a relationship with them? Russia is done. They've been abused. Hundreds of billions of dollars stolen by the U.S. government. Froze their bank account. Russia's like, okay, we're out. We're done. And they could be more done. Folks, Russia could be much more harsh on Europe and the United States of America. They still have cards to play. And I'm not talking about military action or violence. They could just withhold and say, nope, you no longer get our inexpensive natural resources. Go find them somewhere else. Go find them somewhere else. Fuck you. And Apple, for their part, could tell that to Europe. Hey, we were making money with you guys, but you just want to penalize us, so we're done. I see a lot more of that coming in the world. I mean, Trump wants to tack huge tariffs on foreign-made goods as a protectionist stance against cheap labor and cheap goods produced in other countries. Now, here's the deal. In America, we have very strict environmental standards, very strict labor laws. Well, except for illegal aliens. They can come here and work for fucking free. Otherwise, yeah, we don't have slave labor here, except for the people the Democrats are using. Oh, that's fucking funny. Isn't that interesting? How the Democrats, that's right, the Democrats love their slavery. They do. They love slavery. They didn't want to give it up in the 1800s. They formed the Ku Klux Klan. They wouldn't sign off on the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Democrats opposed that. They want cheap labor here. They want people working for next to nothing or worse. They want to tell people what to do. They want to boss them around. They want to punish you when you fuck up. All the things that a cracker does. That's right. A slave cracker, a whip cracker. Not a white cracker, but a slave driving whip cracker wants their slaves to work for nothing, obey, do as they're told, shut the fuck up. That's how slaves act. Are you seeing it? The way Democrats want you and me to act? Do as we say, obey, shut up, pay your taxes. You don't get anything. You'll have nothing and you'll like it. You're going to eat the bugs, slaves. Everything they prescribe for me and you is fucking slavery. Oh boy, we've got to fight, folks. Now, I do have a bit of good news. And I wasn't sure if it was real or not when the news first came out in the morning. Another Hamas leader. I got to get my terrorist organizations right. You got Hezbollah, Hamas, fucking Al Qaeda, ISIS, ICE. How many dozens of terrorist groups and splinter groups are there? Hamas, from the river to the sea, the Palestinian group, Hamas. Their leader is now dead. He has assumed room temperature. I think his name is Yahya Sinwar. And the Israeli Defense Force has destroyed him. This guy's been in charge for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, that's 2.5 months. All they've managed to do is to continue to smuggle in bullets, bombs, rockets, missiles, and continue to fight and fight and fight against, Israel. As terrorists, hiding behind women, hiding behind children, hiding in homes, hiding in schools, hiding in hospitals, hiding in tunnels like rats. The rats they are. I am not a giant fan of Israel as a nation state. I despise these fucking terrorists. And do not forget that in the early 1980s, they bombed the Marine barracks in Beirut, Lebanon, and I believe that was Hezbollah, killing just an incredible amount of Marines, Americans. Not only are they Americans, they're Marines. I have no love for these fucking people. I know exactly what they want to do to us. They keep telling us up in Europe also, when we get enough of a population, we're going to outvote you and own you. You will be converted or you will be killed. Unless you want to, They are now interrupting people with their call to prayer from their stupid fucking jihadi bullhorns. And the first one, 5:30 in the morning. Wake up. Wake up, sleepyheads. Start praying to Allah. Aloha snack bar. That's what they want for us, folks. That's what they want for us. If you thought the Catholic Church was fucking rough, wait till you see what the Muslims want to do to us. Wait till you see this, folks. Have no doubt, these people, they look like this. These people will be in your face, at your work, on the street, in your home, and on top of your daughters. Can you imagine that inbred group of fucking dudes impregnating every woman they can? That's what they're doing, folks. That's what they're doing. That's what they want. Have no fucking doubts. That is exactly what they want. Now, understand who these fucking people are. They are backwards ass, retarded fucksticks. And they are moronic, and they're supported by morons. In fact, get this. A pro-Hamas idiot saw some blue and white flags at a restaurant. And she tore them down and threw a giant fucking fit. But the dumb bitch didn't realize they weren't Jewish or Israeli flags. They were Greek flags at a Greek fucking restaurant. The humiliation doesn't work. You can't humiliate them. They're too fucking stupid. They are. They're too stupid. They really are. Folks, it's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to do our free-for-all. Sunday will be Sunday Night Live. There are no hurricanes coming to destroy me right now. No hurricanes out there trying to flood the bunker. Thank goodness. We got enough to worry about. Oh, by the way, Hillary Clinton, October surprise, where is it? October surprise. It is the 17th. There's less than 2 weeks left in October. Don't believe for a second if you know what's good for you. Don't believe for a second that we're out of the woods. Please, please get involved. Vote for one. Get other Republicans to vote. That's two. Tell people that are Democrats you should vote for Trump if you love America. And if you don't, then go fuck yourself. Get involved. Volunteer. Volunteer with your local political party. Volunteer to work at the polling place. I liked my polling place last election. I walked in there and it just smelled like victory for Republicans in my district. It was great. It was a great feeling. Great feeling. Anyone who wasn't smiling, I knew were Democrats. Because in my district, they knew they were fucking losing. It is now your turn, folks. What do you want to talk about? What shall we discuss? Let me go to one of those little transition videos that makes this more exciting. And I'll see you in a second, and it's your turn. I am unapologetically American. I am unapologetically rough. I am unapologetically who I am. Why should I fucking apologize? Why should you? Why should I behave in such a manner as to please other people? Other people who don't respect me, give a shit about me, wouldn't lift a finger for me. Why should I care about them? Why shouldn't I just be the person I am? Why shouldn't you be exactly who you are? Folks, I'm actually a very nice, kind, soft-spoken, gentle person. But on here with you guys, I want you to see how pissed off I am on the inside. How pissed off I am at what's going on to our country. And I really hope that you guys are just as pissed off. And how you choose to express it is up to you. It's your life. Right? It's your life. I'll tell you what, though. I put a picture. I put it up on X. Formerly Twitter. The X social media platform. It's a picture of one of us prepared mind people wearing a T-shirt for the Halloween costume, right? It's fucking funny as fuck. But yeah, I also posted it on YouTube as a post, a picture with some commentary. Be who you are, folks. You don't owe anyone anything, right? You don't even owe taxes. You don't owe taxes. You pay taxes because there's a gun pointed at your face. Truly there is. Mr. Uman, let's have some fun. What do we want to talk about today? And it is chin music, dude. Nothing but respect, man. Nothing but respect. He says, they should have rattled her chiclets. They should have rattled her chiclets. Even stupid people understand pain. Chiclets. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Stupid people do understand pain. They really do. Gwen Walls, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren is in big trouble again. Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi. I think they all need their chiclets knocked out of their head. Well, let's just keep adding people to this, shall we? Right? How about Michelle Obama, Michael? You got to be careful, though, if you try rattling her chiclets. He just might kick your ass. Good golly. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Chin, for the great picture today. Mr. Uman, Oliver, he's in here, folks. He's keeping an eye on. He's making sure everyone behaves nicely. And he says, Mikey G, he says, had to come out of retirement. Had to do some carpentry and consulting again. So I can afford food and gas. Well, I'll tell you what, Mikey, that's what I had to do. I was perfectly happy living in the fucking jungle at the RMZ. Perfectly happy. making just enough money to pay the bills, right, in the jungle. And nope, had to come back to America. Biden fucking things up. Had to go back to work. Sheesh. But, I kind of knew that was going to happen in the back of my head all along. Yeah, carpentry, consulting, working, busting your ass, having to deal with other people's shit and problems. There's a lot of people that are coming out of retirement because they can't afford to be retired. Right? Inflation is killing us. Killing us. Remember, I live down here in the great state of Florida. And a lot of interesting social media people have come to Florida. Right? There's a number of preppers with prepper channels that I know here. There's a number of precious metals dealers that are down here. There's a number of political and economic commentators that broadcast out of Florida. Anyways, I'm in Florida, and Publix is their Piggly Wiggly, their Safeway, their Kroger, right? Their HIB, they're right. I went there today. I needed to get some food, and the meat section, I was disturbed. I looked at all the frozen hamburgers, the Bubba Burger section, the frozen pork products, stuff that comes in a nice square box. It was 7/8 gone. I got to the fresh meat section, pork, beef, chicken, 3/4 to 7/8, literally empty shelves. Literally empty shelves. And I thought, what the fuck is going on? Why have they not replaced the food here? The only thing I could think is, well, people had to throw away so much, they had to stock back up. And I'm thinking, that's crazy. For one steak, one ribeye steak, boneless, was I think the average price I saw was $18 for what appeared to be a 3/4 pound steak, 12-ounce steak. Way expensive. Well, there were plenty of those on the shelf. And the filet mignon, plenty of those on the shelf. But hamburgers, folks. Hamburger was $9.50 a pound for 2 pre-made hamburgers, half a pound each. I ain't shitting you. The inflation is off the hook. The crazy is off the hook. Wild stuff. Okay, Mr. Uman, who is next? He's fast. Badass Diving Frogs here, and he says, John was at the Wally World today, and that would be Walmart, and the shelves got nice big holes everywhere. I got what I could, so get it while you can. I believe you. I don't know where you're at, Mr. Diving Frog. You can keep your location quiet, but it's interesting that you too found shelves to be empty, big holes everywhere. I haven't seen anything like this from any hurricane in Florida. I haven't seen anything like this since the beginning of Cerveza Bug. But Wally World, that's where the regular people shop, right? That's where us regular people go, trying to save a few bucks here and there. And shelves with big holes. Now, Mr. Diving Frog here, he's not saying it was food. He could be talking about other merchandise. It's not going to get better, folks, before it gets a lot worse. My sister Nancy is here. Nancy Keg says, yes, I hear you. Went to the Walmart close to me yesterday to get a few things and medicines. Long line at the pharmacy and big holes on the shelves. What the fuck is going on? What's going on? Now I'm curious and disturbed. You see, I live near the hurricane epicenter. We took a big fucking hit and food is missing. I'm thinking, okay, why? The prices are really high. but I could see that people lost a lot of food, and so they had to resupply. But why at Walmart? Now we have 2 reports, Walmart. Of course, it's still anecdotal. I guess I need 1,000 people to have a scientific sampling, but this is not a scientific show because, well, I don't trust the science anymore. Not after the last time science tried to fucking kill me and you. Don't trust the science, folks. Anytime someone says trust the science, they're selling you something. Anyways, big holes in the shelves, long lines at the pharmacy. In fact, I caught more news. There are medication shortages in America right now. Pharmacies, including Walmart pharmacies, are being shut down. Shut down. They're being robbed blind, robbed systematically, screwed over. And so they're leaving areas. Interesting, we're going into this SHTF time frame, folks, where we're starting to see shortages on shelves without hurricanes and tornadoes and ice storms and closed records. There's no terrorism in America on a scale that is shutting down cities and freeways and tunnels. We just have gangs running around bashing people and killing them while they extort money out of them for living in their own fucking homes. Thank you, Kamala Harris. She owns it all. She owns it all. Crazy business. Absolutely crazy business. Nancy, be careful. This is why we're preppers. Make sure you are well stocked. Well stocked, folks. Don't take any chances. Be well stocked. Don't hoard. Don't break the law. Don't violate their precious fucking statutes, but be well prepared. Well prepared is the best way to be. Wow. Interesting, Mr. Uman, that we had those comments waiting. I have no idea what comments and questions are coming. That's Uman handles that. He's in charge of that back there with you guys. Now let's see what else we want to talk about, Oliver. And it is name redacted. And he says, old Brett Baer showed he's capable of a hard interview. So why was it the first one he's done? Because he's a piece of crap like his employer. All right, let's unpack this name redacted. I'll start with the last sentence. Because he's a piece of crap like his employer. His employer is Fox News. Fox News chased away Bill O'Reilly. Yes, he is an arrogant, pompous, elitist son of a bitch asshole who liked to sexually harass women. Did I get all that right, man? Yeah, but still, the son of a bitch put bums in seats. Right? Bums in seats. People watched him. Who else did Fox News have? Well, Sean Hannity, I know, has the intellect, but he will not approach any topic with a degree of American patriotism. I think he's a piece of shit on Fox. They scared away Megan Fox, who is on her own, standing on her own 2 feet, not her 2 knees like Kamala, but her own 2 feet, doing well. Fox let her go. And then, of course, who else do we have? Didn't Shepard Smith, didn't that piece of shit quit Fox? I can't remember. I think he did. I hated that fucking guy. What an ass. Brett Baer, right? Looks like he's a fucking Campbell Soup kid, finally grew up. I haven't had any respect for him. But, of course, Tucker Carlson left Fox and is doing 10 times better because of it. And Fox is being punished. But Brett Baer, he was actually capable. He showed he's capable of doing a real interview, preparing himself, knowing what the interviewee is going to say, so he had follow-up questions ready. Someone might say they were gotcha questions. Other people might say, no, that's the way she's answered questions, so he wants to follow up. Good for him, but also bad for him because he showed us that he's had this talent all along and he's refused. It's the first time he's done this. Now, maybe he has offered to Kamala Harris the opportunity to come on Fox with Brett Baier and speak. And she finally accepted. Well, she can't get Trump back into a debate because Trump demonstrated and proved that mainstream media are a bunch of hypocritical, lying pieces of shit. But she had an opportunity to talk to Time magazine, as if Time magazine is going to really make it hard on her. Right? They're the people that said Hitler was man of the year. Hitler, folks, Adolf Hitler. Time has picked several despotic, evil bastards and called them man of the year. Well, they would have been a great chance to DEI the fuck out of their magazine and say, Kamala, president, yay, blah, 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 right? Breaking the glass ceiling for bitches. And they, she wouldn't. And so Time magazine is calling her out. Brett Baier, good job, buddy. You want respect? You want people to watch your news? You better fucking do this every time. Every time. He'll get a reputation, though. Trust me. He'll get a reputation that no one will want to do an interview with him if he's that difficult. Or maybe I should put it this way. Only the most qualified and intelligent candidates could speak with Brett Baier and keep up with him. And I'll name them, right? J.D. Vance and Trump can keep up with Brett Baier. Nobody, no Democrat. Not because they're not necessarily incapable of debating and speaking about their policies, but they don't have any fucking policies. All they do is lie. Imagine Pocahontas, lying Hontas, Liz Warren. Is that her fucking name? I think it is. Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren. Right? You think she could handle real questions? You see, when they're liars, folks, these Democrats and these rhino Republicans, when they're liars, you don't see Mitt Romney running in front of cameras anymore, do you? Well, I don't. It's because he can get called to the carpet because he flip-flops. They say one thing, then they say the exact opposite the next day, the next week, the next month. And Kamala, all over the place. Brett Baier asked questions and allowed her to answer them. And then all you have to do is take that question and that answer and compare it to what she said last year, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, and you'll discover she has no integrity. And she'll say anything and do anything, just like a good prostitute would, as long as she's getting paid. Well, I think she needs to be paid back in spades. All right, Mr. Uman, where are we going to go next? And it is Uman himself. He says, U.S. boomers struck a... How the fuck am I going to pronounce that? Wahodia weapons facility in Yemen. Houthia. U.S. boomers, meaning the U.S. military, struck a Houthi weapons facility in Yemen. No, it's Yemen. So the Yemenis with the Houthis got their asses kicked-ees. And Uman says, got to start one more conflict in case Trump gets back in and doesn't start any. Now, these Houthis in Yemen, along with the Somalis and their pirates, along the, shall we say, East African Persian Gulf area. They need to have bombs, missiles, rockets shot up their asses so that this isn't a problem anymore. You see, when the U.S. military was respected and not woke, when the LGBTQ queers were not allowed in the military, and we had real leadership that actually had some moral authority, the world would not fuck around. Well, apparently the Houthi weapons people, they found out. They fucked around and found out. See, when Trump is president, he may have to do a little bit of ass kicking. Typically one time. And everyone's like, hey, he means business. Right? Ronald Reagan, President Ronald Reagan, right? He was a cowboy. He's a buckaroo. He was elected. He said, okay, the bombing starts in 15 minutes. He was not weak. He was not Jimmy fucking Carter, right? He wasn't weak. And the world respected him. And the bullshit came to a stop. Trump is the same way. When he was president last, he talked Kim Jong-un of North Korea, met him, let him know, no more bullshit. Trump stopped and told the terrorists, gave him a picture of his own house and said, you kill one American. He didn't say American military men, one American, right? And you'll be taken care of. Not one person was killed by the regime while Trump was president in that terrorist group, shall we say. It did take 6 fucking times, Umans. It's tough, man. Woo. But yeah, Trump, what did he do? He talked everyone back. But these fucking pirates they're sinking ships with oil. Isn't that an ecological disaster, an environmental mess to sink a ship full of fucking oil, to terrorize the world, to threaten free trade, right? International waterways are not supposed to be full of mines, pirates, submarines, ships, rockets, fucking with people. Well, interestingly, yeah. So we have weak leadership that allows it, and then the same weak leadership wants to blow some shit up and act tough about it. Crazy stuff. Good golly. Mr. Uman, sickness did take 6 fucking times, man. Had to untie the tongue. Name Redacted says, we should push the idea of media managed reality. Normies need to realize the news is a script. Well, it is. It's absolutely a script. We demonstrated that earlier by saying the word now to describe Kamala Harris being a bitch with Brett Baer, now she's testy. And every single network, every mainstream media outlet, TV, satellite, cable, print, internet, she's testy. And Joe Biden's sharp as a tack. And George W. Bush, when he was running for president, needed dickhead Cheney to give him gravitas. It's been going on for fucking decades. There is literally a script, and Name Redacted is right. The word script should have been in all caps down here. It is managed talking points via a script that is sent to every fucking news station. And I'm talking about every local news station gets the script, reads the script, so that people that watch that bilge, that shit, get programmed. Remember, they're called TV programs. They're TV programs. All right. Thank you, Name Redacted. I want to remind everyone, by the way, folks, that Kamala Harris, the White House, and Kamala Harris is now, for all intents, all purposes, she is the president in everything but name, because she's running for the presidency. And Joe Biden is probably the lamest lame duck I have ever heard of. He is the lamest lame duck I have ever heard of. The Kamala Harris White House administration, I want to remind everyone, is giving another $425 million to Ukraine. Today, this same Kamala Harris piece of shit is granting to Lebanese political asylum seekers free entrance, all expense paid tour and vacation to live in America, while Americans are suffering. Homeless are not getting help. Vets are being ignored, and hurricane victims are being shit on. Continuously shit on. Ignored. They are, folks. FEMA is an evil organization. Even the American Red Cross, I do not have a lot of love for. I don't. You want to know why? Because FEMA has endorsed Red Cross. And anyone FEMA likes, I do not. The enemy of my enemy, the friends of my enemy, anything with enemy on it, I don't like. We're coming to that point where only those people that I like and trust are going to be the only people that I like and trust. I don't extend the open hand of friendship, right? I don't give people I don't say, hey, hey, I'm going to give you a shadow of a doubt, right? I'm going to give you an opportunity. No, it's too fucking dangerous now, folks. I don't turn my back on strangers. I watch them close. Right, I'm training a new guy in my company, and I had one of my subcontractors, and I said, "Hey, who's going to take care of me? Who is my salesman for this particular service?" And I said, "And whoever he is, he better not be a faggot. Flag it." So why did I tell that guy that? Why did I use that term? Because I wanted to know what his attitude was towards these people, right? The flaggets. Hey, if you wanna smoke a sausage in your spare time at home, you go right ahead. You keep it out of the fucking schools. You keep it out of the public. You don't shove a flag in everyone's fucking face over it. You don't demand that everyone fucking accept your shit. You don't demand a fucking month of ass kissing and everything else. No, you're flaggets. And the guy, he reacted the right way. He fucking laughed and he goes, he better not fucking be. And he's not, right? I need to know who my enemies are around me personally, because the people in our personal lives, when shit gets nasty, there's you, there's a 10-mile radius around you. Those people in that 10-mile radius with you are the ones who are the most dangerous to you. They are. People are the most dangerous thing. Hurricanes are bad. Tornadoes are bad. Tsunamis are bad. Volcanoes exploding are bad. Ice storms are bad. But the most dangerous thing in our lives, the most dangerous things in our lives are other people. They truly are. Tell you what, I just what a world. Let's see if something has come up since I started this show. Just this broadcast alone. Since we started talking, what is going on out there? Ooh, this is disappointing for Camel Toes. She's continuing to lose in the polls. Oh, Brett Baer brought that up as well. He's like, if Trump is so bad, if he's so stupid, if he's so unlikable, why does he have such a commanding lead? And that wasn't a quote, wasn't barely even a paraphrase, but just asking Kamala why she's losing in the polls to Trump, right? And she didn't have a good answer. Ooh, man, let's do a couple more quick ones. I know we got a lot of comments and questions. We ran out of time, and it's Chin Music. And he says, the Daily Wire, which is a website, is reporting that an NCAA volleyball player says coaches repeatedly assigned her to a room with a trans player at his request. In other words, a transgender fruitcake claiming to be a woman playing in sports asked the coach or coaches, please put me in a room with that particular girl. Why the fuck would, wait, are you guys aware that these transgender men who pretend to be women, they're not heterosexual trannies, folks. No, they're lesbians. An old joke I used to make as well. If lesbians like women, I guess that makes me a lesbian, right? Man, I got a dick, but hey, I like women, so I'm a lesbian. Just a joke. Little did I know that joke I made back when I was in high school has become some kind of weird-ass reality. Yeah, these are guys pretending to be girls with operable dicks who want to be housed. They want to shower. They want to change in front of women. Fucking perverts. Just, I'm telling you. I wonder if that's what was sent. Yep. That's what Chin Music sent me. Thank you very much. Yeah. Unfucking believable. Seriously, I've had it with these fucking people. Just incredible. And then we're going to finish here with Paul Andreadis or Andreades. He says, why is the media giving Kamala real interview questions now? What has changed? What happened to all those softball questions? Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. She still gets lots of softball questions and incredible media coverage and forgiveness. She gets plenty of that. But we're starting to see that some people don't like her, don't trust her, see that she's a hypocrite, see that she's a fucking salad, see that she's a prostitute. So there are people on CNN who are opposed to giving her a free ride. So, and every time I see this, folks, like this commentator or that special guest, they question, they grill everyone else on the panel about Kamala. But that doesn't mean the entire network is anti-Kamala. So NBC is not anti-Kamala, but there are people on NBC News networks and CNN News networks and Fox News networks who will, I guess, demonstrate some real personal integrity. I'm sure some of these guests won't be invited back. But there are Democrats everywhere saying, I'm not voting for her. Some people, they're like, I don't like Trump. Other people are like, Trump is just And other people are like, I fucking hate Trump. He's an arrogant dick, but I'm voting anyways. I'm voting Trump even though I can't stand him. That's why I'm telling you now, share this internet message, this internet address and these messages with Democrats, because even they are like, we've had enough. We've seen enough lies. She's that fucking stupid. We see where they're taking America. I'm sick and tired of this shit. They have divided and conquered themselves to the point where they're abandoning their own ship. Right? I find it incredible. The softball questions, Paul, they're out there. But I'm not going to tell you about all the softball questions and read them for us, because we know they exist. We know they're there. But yeah, there are some media people that are turning on the Democrat Party, on Kamala Harris. Good. Right? Well, I mean, some of the biggest examples, RFK Jr. At first, I was like, oh, man, fuck, he's going to endorse Trump. That's just going to confuse the issue. I think it's had a very corrosive effect on the Democrat efforts, because people are like, hey, that fucking Kennedy, man, he's like a fucking legacy for the Democrat Party. Why is he supporting Trump? And folks, I do not like RFK Jr.'s policies, with the exception of food, health, and food ingredients and vaccines. I fucking can't stand RFK. No. Tulsi Gabbard? No. Not a bit. Don't like her. That was a cerveza sneeze. And that is going to be the last thing I have to say on this show for today. I'm going to call it a quits because we're after 1 hour. I need to get some rest. I need to get cleaned up. I need a fucking drink. And oh, yeah, now I've got one last message. For those of you out there who say I drink too much, I take zero prescription drugs. Zero. So my alcohol is a pain reliever. My alcohol is an antidepressant. My alcohol is a sleep aid. My alcohol, right? Don't tell me taking something as natural as alcohol is worse than the fucking drugs people jam in their body on an everyday basis. And I know medications help people. In some cases, you can't live without them. I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just letting everyone know, right? Pick your fucking poison, right? Because even drugs that help you have negative side effects. Have you ever read those? This is going to help your heart, but it's going to make you bleed out your ass. You're going to go deaf. Your hair is going to fall out, and you're going to grow extra toes out of your feet. But hey, it's great for your heart. In any event, that's it. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. and Semper Fi, always faithful to God, country, and what I know to be right. I hope you have the same attitude. I'll see you guys 0 dark 30.